In this tutorial, you will learn how to do your layouts after you have finished the History Brush tool. So you can see down the bottom, these are my previous works, my images that I've been using the History Brush tool on. And now I'm going to create my final layout page. So I'm going to go New File on Photoshop. Then I want an A3 page. So at the moment, it's not showing me an A3 page. So I'm going to go to the word print right here. Then I'm going to press View All Presets. And there's my A3 page right here. Over on the right, we want to check all of these information here to make sure everything's correct. So where it says Untitled 1, you are going to title your work History Tool Layout, and then make sure you have your name as well. So I'm going to write Miss Paterno. It is really important that you put your name after the title, because I will end up collecting 23 or more History Tool layouts. I need to know which one is yours. Okay, then I'm going to go down to Orientation. You can choose if you want portrait or landscape. I'm going to choose a landscape page for mine. Then I'm going to go to color mode. We want it to be CMYK color because our printer at the school uses these colors. And then I'm going to press create. There's my A3 page. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to place my images onto here. But before we place our images, we are going to use the grid layout to help us make sure everything lines up nice and neatly. So I'm going to click on View, and I want to go to Guides, New Guide Layout, and press OK. So that shows us where these guides are at the moment. I'm also going to Window, and I'm trying to find Show Grid. I think it's so I go to View, go to Guide, and you want to click on New Guide Layout. Then you want to go to Show, and you want to show your grid. So there's my grids, and I've got my guides as well. This is called my grids and guides. Then I'm going to go File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to select my History Brush images. So I'm going to select one at a time. So I'm going to select that one. And there's my first image. I want to make this smaller so it's not pixelated. And I want to line it up with my grids and guides. Then I want to place it maybe the third one along. I'm just checking where it would line up. And then I can press that tick at the top. So that's where my first image goes. You can see on the right here, it shows our background and then our first layer. Then I'm going to click File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to select my next image. I don't want it to be pixelated, so I'm going to make it small enough. Another way you can do it as well, instead of, and I just press Ctrl Z, because this is a great example. I'm just going to show you what I mean. So at the moment when I place my image, it's really pixelated and I'm not happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete that. And another alternative is I'm going to File, Open. I'm going to open my second one. Okay. Now I'm going to press Control A, Control C. If you're on a Mac, Command A, Command C, and Command V. So this is a better way because it shows us the original size of your image. So this is very small. So this is where I have to actually choose a different image that's large enough. So I can't actually use this image in the end. I'm going to scrap that and go onto Google again and find a new image. So I'm going to press Control Z. I'm going to open up a new one. Control A, Control C, Control V. Okay, so that's how big this one is. Again, I may need a bigger image. What Photoshop does is it helps us size the image so it doesn't become pixelated. So what you're going to do now is with your images, you're going to have your guides on. You're going to have your grids on, so show grid. And what I've already done, I'm just going to zoom in here to show you, I have lined up these two photos. So I've made sure that there's two columns spacing, and I'm going to actually move this one up a bit. So there's only one row between the image. So you need to check, this is what you're going to use your grids and guides for, to make sure the spacing and the alignment of each image is correct. You can decide if you want to have like 3 column spacing or a 4 column spacing. You just need to figure that out as well. That's what the main thing is that you might like to decide on. And you're going to use the grids and guides to lay out your work as a final. You also need to think about where you're going to add your title. So on my toolbar here, I can go to the word Type tool, and I'm going to add my title. So it would say History Tool and then white water rafting. You might say something to do with your theme instead. So I might just say white water rafting. You might want to include the word history tool. I would recommend including the word history tool, and make sure your name is also presented. So these are the 3 things that you must include. So history tool, then your theme, and then your name. And this is where you can choose a different typeface. So I might choose something that would go with my theme. So I might choose something and then make it increase the size. There we go. But now I need to lay out as well my title. So making sure that's in line and making sure it all fits as well. So this is what you need to do for your layouts. Make sure you've got your guides on and your grids, and then you're going to align each photo making sure all 6 photos are nicely presented and also your title and your name is on your work.